subscribe to my channel. Your one click means the world to me. Folded hands. The cages were not just filled with blood, but with broken dreams. Futures torn apart and carved into the cold ribs of a forgotten asteroid. The Grass Syndicate's auction hall throbbed like an open wound. Stone walls were blackened with soot, and blazing braziers roared like dragons breathing fire. The air was thick with snarls, screams, and the cruel clink of coins exchanged for living bodies. Buyers in dark hoods bargained for lives the way farmers bargain for livestock. Some slaves were bought for the mines, others for fighting pits, and some for far darker purposes. In the third row from the back stood a rusted iron cage. Inside it was an 18-cycle-old alien girl. Her blue skin was dulled by dirt and exhaustion. Her silver hair, once braided with ceremonial pride, now hung in tangled strands like wires torn apart by a storm. Once, she dreamed of libraries, of laughter beneath twin moons, and of her mother singing lullabies. But those dreams were gone now. All that remained were chains, a violent raid, and a cruel brand burned into her skin. She was not meant for labor or sport. She was meant to be processed as meat. Beside her, an old alien with cracked skin and visible ribs whispered through bleeding lips, "Don't beg. Begging only feeds them." But her heart was already breaking. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, and fear pressed on her chest like crushing gravity. Then the auctioneer's sharp voice sliced through the smoke. Next lot. Zerani. Female. Young. Tender. Processing grade, unless someone has other plans. The cage door creaked open. She stumbled into the harsh torchlight, blinking as murmurs spread through the crowd. Too thin. Soft bones. Not worth feeding. A clawed hand grabbed her chin and lifted her face, as if she were a slab of meat in a market. Her knees buckled. Not from weakness, but from the crushing weight of the word processing. Then she saw him. At the back of the hall stood a human. Dust covered his boots. His leather jacket was worn and frayed. His arms were crossed. But his eyes were different. They were not hungry, not cruel, just human. And he was looking directly at her. Not through her. Not past her. At her. Something desperate exploded inside her chest. Raw survival. She dropped to her knees as tears carved clean tracks through the dirt on her face. "Please," she cried, her voice shattered by fear and exhaustion. "Buy me. Use me. Just get me out of here." Cruel laughter erupted across the hall. "She's begging to be owned." But the human didn't laugh. He didn't smile either. He simply stepped forward. 1,000 credits. The auctioneer blinked in shock. "One what?" she scrapped. The human's voice stayed calm and heavy. "Do you want my money or not?" Silence spread through the room. No one dared to bid against him. The gavel slammed down like a breaking bone. Sold. When the chains were removed, she braced herself for the pain that always followed ownership. Fists, whips, cruelty. Instead, she felt warmth. The human placed his rough but clean coat over her shaking shoulders. "Stand," he said quietly. "You're safe now." She flinched. "Safe? You bought me." "I bought your freedom," he replied. "Name's Kale. Come." She followed him with bare feet on cold stone, her mind numb and heart racing. They walked through the winding halls, past mocking guards, and out into the cool silence of night where his ship waited. Iron dawn. Scarred. Quiet. Alive. Inside the ship, she collapsed and sobbed into her hands. Kale simply knelt beside her. No pity. Just presence. "No one touches you here," he said softly. "Not while I'm breathing." Days passed. Then weeks. She ate real meals again and slept beneath blankets that did not smell of sweat and iron. Her body healed quickly, but her spirit healed slower. Some nights she woke gasping, trapped again in dreams of cages and torchlight. Kale never scolded her. He would simply bring tea and sit quietly nearby until her breathing calmed. One morning she asked him in a fragile voice, "Why?" "I'm nothing." "Weak." "Worthless." They were right. Kale's jaw tightened. "No one is worthless. You're alive. That's the only currency that matters." "But you don't even know me." "I know what they were going to do to you," he said. That was reason enough. Months passed. Her strength returned. She learned to read star charts, repair hull damage, and fly through asteroid fields. Slowly, she began to laugh again, first quietly, then freely, while listening to Kale's stories of Earth. Of endless oceans, deep forests, and skies so blue they almost hurt to remember. One evening, while the stars glowed across the ship's viewport, she spoke again. I begged you to use me, because I thought that was the only thing I had left to trade. Kale met her eyes gently. That's how badly they broke you, he said. But listen carefully. Your body was never the price of your life. You never had to earn the right to exist. Tears filled her eyes again, but this time they felt different. They felt like freedom. Together they traveled the galaxy. They delivered medicine to blockaded worlds, smuggled children out of labor camps, and destroyed slave records so captives could vanish into new lives. Kale never asked her to stay. She never chose to leave. She became more than crew, more than passenger. She became his partner, pilot, and protector. Years later, they faced a slaver convoy. Cages filled the enemy ships. For a moment, she froze as memories flooded back. Kale placed a steady hand on her shoulder. Run or fight, he said. Your choice. Her hands trembled. Then they steadied. Fight. And they did. On the distant edges of the galaxy, they became legends. A human captain and a blue-skinned ghost who haunted slave markets. To the broken, they were hope. To the wicked, they were judgment. And to each other, they were family. Sometimes, in the quiet darkness between stars, she would remember the cage and the moment she had begged for her life. Each time she would turn to Kale and say softly, "You saved me." And every time, without fail, he would shake his head. "No," he would say. "You saved yourself. I just opened the door." Then they would sit together beneath the endless stars. Not master and slave, not savior and victim, but two souls who chose every day to walk through the darkness together and bring light wherever they went. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.